Hi, welcome to Physionic, where we learn the body from the macro to the micro. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, then consider subscribing. So today's video is going to be a rather special video for me specifically because it's a video that I've spent quite a lot of time researching and doing a lot of writing for, which is related to the menstrual cycle and what is actually causing that water weight gain that women see. It is far more complex than I thought it might be, and I'm going to go through a few of the details as well as give you the answer to that question in this video. I encourage you to check out the article with all my references down below in the description box. And with that said, if that's what you're here to find out about, then in a short, sweet, science-based video, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let me open by saying, ladies, I feel for you. After spending several weeks reading research on the menstrual cycle, things became muddier and muddier the deeper I pored over the literature. However, I can finally present to you what is happening within the body. There is no doubt the menstrual cycle has a significant effect on the weight gain and weight loss. So to expect as much as a 2.3 kilogram weight increase is not shocking. However, these water weight fluctuations vary along the month. So when exactly can we expect these to occur? This is a difficult question to answer because there's some confusing variability among women. Allow me to explain. If women gain weight due to their menstrual cycle, it tends to be most pronounced in the premenstrual week, that's PMS week. And yet, there are some women that do not gain any weight. This is a major source of confusion. It is understandable to believe the sex hormones like estrogen, progesterone, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone would all play a role, and they do. Especially estrogen and progesterone, since estrogen is linked to water retention and progesterone is linked to the release of water. However, both hormones are at their lowest during the highest point of water retention, PMS week, an inverse relationship. So, are the sex hormones still implicated? Maybe, but maybe it's due to cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Again, however, at menstruation, we see low levels of cortisol, so it seems unlikely. Okay, what about direct sodium retention hormones like vasopressin? This is a promising possibility because low estrogen levels, as seen in our highest weight retention situation, stimulates the release of vasopressin, which does act on the kidneys to retain water. However, oddly enough, vasopressin remains high even when estrogen increases in later phases of the month. But so does progesterone to antagonize it. So if we turn our attention to the kidneys responsible for regulating water retention, we might notice estrogen and progesterone modulate the action of vasopressin on the kidneys, which may be a greater player in this water retention scenario. Essentially, although the water retention hormone vasopressin is there, it is blocked from telling the kidneys to retain water by estrogen and/or progesterone, depending on the situation. So, having cut out a plethora of details, we find ourselves back to square one. What is causing this water retention? In reality, the answer is much clearer than anticipated, and still linked to estrogen. There's a split. Some women experience premenstrual syndrome, and some do not. And fancy this, women who experience PMS have a different physiological reaction to the drop in estrogen during the final week of the cycle, aka, again, PMS week. It seems that PMS women specifically see an increase in the hormone known as aldosterone, which also acts on the kidneys and leads to water retention. This is the primary reason some women retain water weight and others do not in the days leading up to menstruation. This is doubly true as progesterone is not present to antagonize the action, leaving aldosterone a clear highway to the kidneys and increased water retention while also redistributing water across the body. A twofold effect. Now, if you found this video to be complicated, trust me, there are far more details that I left out of this video, and if you'd like to learn more about those details, you can check out my free article, which also houses all of my references, and you can find that in the description box. And with that said, hopefully I have the pleasure of speaking with you in the very next one. Have a good one, guys. See ya.